Hi everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. Today I have a new release to show you and some top tips, of course. So Nouveau Tonic have just released these 3 new colors of their watercolor pencils. So we have dark shadows, and they all come in these gorgeous tins, so you have something to store them in. If you're anything like me, I love nice storage. You can see these are kind of your more warm colors, your rich, full, Christmas colors, really pretty colors in there. We have our elementary mid-tones, which are these, so much brighter, like a real rainbow as you open the tin. And then we have our pastel, or pastel, however you say it, highlights. And these complement the skin tones that we had before. And there's also a basic set. So you can see, again, a beautiful rainbow, but all in those lighter shades. So really, you have a dark, a mid, and a light in those tones. So you can really kind of do some nice blends now. And of course they'll work and complement the other palettes nicely. Now, when using watercolor pencils, I always like to use the watercolor paper. This is the A2 pre-cut card size that you can get in pads from Tonic. And I'm going to be using my Nuvo hybrid ink pad. So by using a hybrid pad, I can use alcohol markers, I can use water, I can use pencils, I can use Gamsol, I can use everything. And I don't have to worry about whether it's pigment or dye based. And then we're going to use some of these really pretty new holiday stamps from Tonic. So we have the Christmas snow globe you can build up, the snowman snuggles, the jolly marshmallow snowman you can build, and then warm cocoa wishes. So really, really pretty stamps, and they work so well with this color palette. So again, I'm going to grab these out of here, and I'm just going to do the holly because it's nice and easy. Pop it on an acrylic block. Of course, you can use a stamp positioner too. And I'm going to live dangerously and just stamp it on here somewhere. Nice crisp image, of course. And the Nouveau pads come, we have some in the larger size, and then the rest come in really nice cubes. And I'm just going to give it a quick blast with my heat gun to dry it because I don't want to have to sit here and wait for it to dry. I want to be able to dive straight in. So I'm going to start off by using this green as my base. This is the Village Green, and I'm going to colour in my holly. Now, of course, you can use these as regular colored pencils too. You don't have to activate the water element. If you just wanted to buy one thing, you could have a set of these and never, reactivate them with the water. So that's another nice way to do it. And then again, if you weren't going to activate them with water, you could just do it on regular white cardstock. You wouldn't have to have anything special. And then I'm going to do this one here. And I think they're feathers. They could be leaves. I'm not really sure, but we're going to add some fun colours in as though they are feathers. So I'm going to start off with this really nice blue here. This is called Blue Jeans. Like this. Kind of naturally avoiding that stem. So you can see you can just colour, in a really ordinary way. And then I'm going to show you where the magic happens. Because being a lefty, I'm trying not to cover up everything I do. I'm going to add in a little bit of pastel blue on this one. And on this end. And then we need a nice rich red. I'll use this one here. A nice Nouveau dot for the pimple of the berry would work really, really well. And we need a yellow for our star. So you can see, you can just colour in really nicely and still get a great image in here. But sometimes you might want to pep it up with some highlights. So you're going to see how this is going to evolve as we go along. So I'm just adding some highlights, really, really simple ones. And I'm going to do my center stems. I don't know if they're called spines or something on feathers maybe. And then we'll do something on these. And we want some highlights on our green. So what I like to do is colour down the stem because that's always going to be darker. And then of course any veins. And you can see I'm not doing anything really delicate. I'm being pretty heavy-handed. And then I'm just putting a little bit in the bottom here. And it already just makes it pop. So suddenly it's gone from a very flat image to a really nice poppy image. And then we'll add just some brighter tips on our star. You could make this into a flower as well. And I also would like a little bit more of another green, maybe this one. And all I'm doing are those points on the holly because I want them to look sharp and pointy. So I'm just doing like a little Y in here. Like so. There we go. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is take an aqua painter, or you could do a paintbrush with water, but I like these just because they're really nice and controlled. And another top tip for filling them up is to use a sprayer bottle, because if you've ever used these, you put them under the tap, you'll know that you get covered in water, which is not fun at all. Whereas you can just do a few squirts with this and it's full and there's no mess. So I really like this. It's great for traveling as well. And then I'm just going to give a squeeze out on my glass mat just to decide how much water I have on here. I'm just going to take a bit off on my apron too. And then I'm going to start with my holly. And you can see how those colours all of a sudden blend together. So if you look at the two hollies on either side, but then you look at that center one, you'll see that this one you can tell has been colored with pencils. This one looks far more painted. It just blends everything together and it puts all of those colors together as well. So I'm going to do this one. And so I work in my light area and then I go into my dark. Light, dark. And it just really starts to make everything pop together nicely. I'm going to do the same on these. So it's a bit like using Gamsol, but it's just way, way easier and far more controllable because you're almost just painting with these. Look how. You can also pop them on a piece of paper and then just use it like a palette. Great for on-the-go crafting. And then for this one, I'm going to start in my dark and work out to my light. And you can still do all the techniques of watercolor, so you can remove color with paper, you know, all those things that you like to do with watercolors, you can do with these. And I'm going to do my berries. As I say, I would just finish it off with a couple of Nouveau drops, but you can see how all of a sudden that image just becomes bright, it's poppy, it's got texture to it, it looks rounded, you know, all of those things that we look for when we're coloring. So I really love working with watercolor pencils, but as I say, the flexibility is great because you can use them as a regular pencil, you don't have to water activate them, and then you can just use something like a Nouveau travel brush and you can take it on the go. So it's perfect, just pop in your bag, go. Maybe if you want to take them for coloring at the Christmas table, all of those fun things. As I say, 3 new packs, we'll add links below for you. And if you're a Hedgehog Hollow channel member, you can hit join below. You get 10% off the whole Tonic store the whole time. So you've got dark shadows, you have elementary midtones, and you have pastel highlights. And as I say, there's 2 other sets that came in the beginning as well. So I'll link those in the description below too. But don't forget to hit subscribe, ring the bell for a daily tip, trick, tutorial, or maybe something a little bit different. So I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, happy crafting. Bye.